We're taking you back 220 years ago today. The first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution were ratified.
On this anniversary of the Bill of Rights, Tony Valdez looks at a Los Angeles teenager whose arrest back in 1929 helped to define the First Amendment and freedom of speech.
Have you ever stood up for something you believed in, even if you could be arrested?
You're watching Judy Brafman, a documentary film producer at work in her Venice studio. Her current project is called Land of Orange Groves and Jails. It's about her great-aunt, Yetta Stromberg, whose arrest when she was just 19 years old put her at the center of a case that went to the Supreme Court of the United States, where it revolutionized the way courts interpreted the First Amendment right to free speech.
For the past 10 years, I've been trying to get her to tell me the story. Always afraid to ask you questions because you're going to say, no.
I never thought my story was that worthwhile.
In the summer of 1929, Yetta worked as a teacher at a children's camp in the San Bernardino Mountains. Police arrested Yetta and others when they found a red flag there looking something like this. 10 years earlier, California passed a law banning the public display of red flags on the grounds that they were a symbol of communism. Did Yetta want to overthrow the United States government? That's what I'm trying to...
Yetta was not, that wasn't her mission to overthrow the United States government. The mission really was to find a better way of life for most of the people in this country. And I guess these days you'd call them the 99%.
Attorneys representing Yetta appealed her conviction to the Supreme Court of the United States. In 1931, in a lopsided 7-2 decision, the justices threw out Yetta's conviction. They struck down California's red flag ban, and they established that words weren't the only kind of expression protected by the First Amendment.
The state statute barred the use of the red flag in situations where it was a symbol of opposition to organized government. The Supreme Court said, well, even in that kind of situation, that's constitutionally protected. So the Constitution protects not just mainstream speech, it also protects extremist speech.
In the decision, they wrote that the security of the nation depends on our ability to have free speech rights. And that's a really strong statement for 1931. It's very, it's like they were looking into the future.
Over the years, the Supreme Court decision has been cited in dozens of freedom of speech cases, ranging from cross-burning and flag-burning to the civil rights movement and even corporate free speech. Yetta, meanwhile, lived the rest of her life with the consequences of being associated with communism.
She became a teacher, all right, although she was blacklisted out of the public schools and landed up having to teach in private schools.
Yetta Stromberg died in 2009, just before her 98th birthday, and she believed to the very end in a better America. In Los Angeles, Tony Valdez, Fox 11 News.
That is quite a story.
Fascinating story, it is.